The road trembled before they appeared. Engines rolled in low and heavy, the sound vibrating through the thin walls of shuttered shops and the dust-caked air of late afternoon. Heat pressed down on the pavement, carrying the smell of petrol, rust, and fried bread drifting from a distant stall. At the edge of the street, a boy stood very still, hands tied around a bicycle that had once been blue. Its paint was chipped now, the bell gone, the chain dull with age. Still, he stood straight, as if the bike were a promise he hadn't yet broken. The riders slowed as they reached him. Leather jackets creaked, boots scuffed asphalt. One by one, helmets turned toward the boy. He looked no older than 10, too thin for his height, hair cut unevenly, eyes wide but steady. Dust clung to his sandals. "Buy my bike, sir," he said, voice small but clear. "Mommy hasn't eaten in 2 days." The words settled into the air, heavier than the engines. Behind him, half hidden by a peeling wall, a woman sat on a folded cloth. Her back was straight, though her shoulders trembled with the effort of it. A scarf covered her hair, frayed at the edges. Her face was pale, lips cracked, eyes lowered not from shame, but from exhaustion. Hunger had hollowed her cheeks, carved patience into her bones. The bikers exchanged glances. They were not cruel men, but the road had taught them to be cautious. Pity could be dangerous. Stories could be traps. One rider dismounted. He was broad-shouldered, silver threaded through his beard, eyes sharp from years of watching traffic and people the same way, always looking for what might turn. His gloves smelled faintly of oil and leather. He crouched to the boy's level. "Where did you get the bike?" he asked gently. "It was my birthday," the boy said. Before what? He didn't say. The man stood and looked toward the woman. She raised her eyes then, meeting his gaze for a brief second. Something flickered there, recognition, perhaps, or fear quickly buried. She looked away. Coins clinked softly as another rider shifted. A woman among them wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. Someone muttered a curse under their breath, not at the boy, not at the mother, but at the world. The man reached for his wallet, then paused. "What happened to you?" he asked the woman, his voice quieter now. Her fingers tightened in her scarf. "We lost our home," she said. The words came carefully, measured. "My husband died last winter. The landlord sold the building. We were told to leave in 3 days." The man felt the sentence land somewhere deep, stirring an old memory. He straightened slowly. "Who bought it?" he asked. She hesitated. Then she spoke a name. It was his. Not just his company's. A deal signed 6 months ago, one of many. He remembered the building now, cracked stairwell, old tenants, paperwork rushed through by an assistant. Renovation plans. Profits projected neatly in columns. Faces never attached. The road noise seemed to fade, leaving only the sound of blood in his ears. He saw it then not as numbers, but as this woman, this boy, this bike trembling between them. The boy shifted his grip, knuckles white. "It's okay if you don't want it," he said quickly. "I can wait." The man took off his gloves. "No," he said. "You don't have to." He knelt, pulled out his wallet, then reached deeper past bills, past cards until he found the folded checkbook he rarely used. He wrote slowly, deliberately, tearing the page free. Another rider slipped a bag of food from his saddle. Someone else set down a bottle of water. No one spoke. The man handed the check to the woman, then crouched again before the boy. He touched the bicycle lightly, reverently. Keep it, he said. You'll need it to ride somewhere better. Tears slipped down the woman's face, silent and unstoppable. She pressed her forehead to the ground once, then again, gratitude breaking through dignity at last. The engine started up again, but the sound had changed. Softer. Thoughtful. As they rode away, the boy stood watching, bike still in his hands, the weight of it suddenly lighter. Behind him, his mother ate slowly, carefully, as if relearning how. The road stretched on, carrying with it a lesson the riders would not forget, that harm done without seeing is still harm, and kindness, when it finally arrives, must go further than a moment. If this story touched your heart and moved you in any way, please like the video, comment, share it with someone who need a little hope today, and make sure you subscribe to Humanity Diaries. Your support help us continue emotional and meaningful stories to the world. Please comment below which part of story touched you the most.